And you just mind your P's and Q's, Buster, and remember who you're dealing with.
Bueller. Ferris Bueller.
So much media, so little time. Who keeps track of it all? That would be me. This is Bob Andelman, and this is the Mr. Media Interview. You know, MrMedia.com, MRmedia.com. Drop by and check it out. Brought to you today on the iPhone, Android, Palm, and BlackBerry by the Stitcher app for mobile devices. Also available by free subscription on iTunes. Mr. Media is also sponsored by thepartyauthority.us. Planning a wedding, mitzvah, or corporate event? For any and all occasions, call the Party Authority nationwide at 1-800-DIAL-DJs. That's 1-800-342-5357, where one call does it all. So where was I before the commercial? Mr. Media is recorded live from the new media capital of the world and home of Lie to Me star Monica Raymond, St. Petersburg, Florida. Thinking about talking last night with actor Alan Ruck, I was reminded of a Dr. Seuss book called Oh, the Places You'll Go. Why? Well, just think about the places Alan Ruck has gone. He went universe hopping with both Captain Kirk and Captain Picard. He went to Spin City with Michael J. Fox and Charlie Sheen. And he went to Chicago with Ferris Bueller.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Beat that, Cat in the Hat. And now Ruck is back, starring in a new NBC summer miniseries called Persons Unknown, which airs Mondays at 10 p.m. Here's a clip from the show.
What do you want from me?
The new series Persons Unknown will leave you asking questions.
We are only being given scripts a teeny bit in advance. We don't really know what's going to happen.
And by the end of the summer, the answers you and the cast were looking for will be revealed.
We are not against breaking your eye sockets if we don't get some answers.
Persons Unknown is the story of 7 kidnapped people that wake up in this strange town, and they're fighting for their lives and the whole time trying to figure out why they are being held captive in such a strange and many times scary way.
Hey, easy. Hey, take it easy, soldier. We're on your side. You're a hostage, too.
But there was something else the cast didn't expect either.
For me, it's been a lot more physical than I expected, but that's not a bad thing. That's really good fun. We're put in all these crazy, really surreal, strange situations and have to try to, get out of them alive. But it's really fun, and it's really exciting and challenging.
I don't get it. What kind of kidnapping is this?
Alan Ruck, welcome to Mr. Media.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm fine. Thanks for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. I was very eager to get you on the show. Big fan. Appreciate your time. Let's start with Persons Unknown. You play one of 7 characters who have been taken away from their life for reasons unknown. What more can you tell us about the plot to get us excited about the show?
Well, the script, the pilot script was written by Christopher McQuarrie, who wrote The Usual Suspects. And so as soon as I saw his name on the script, I knew it was going to be good. And then when I started reading it, it had this amazing Twilight Zone kind of feel to it. So 7 people are kidnapped, taken out of their everyday lives. They wind up in this seemingly deserted town from which there's apparently no escape. I can't tell you much more about that right now. And we are watched constantly by video cameras everywhere we go. So we don't know who these other people are. We don't know why we're taken, who took us, nor why we're being watched. That's how it starts. And then as the show goes on, you find out that all these characters have secrets, some of them pretty bad ones, and you find out that there are some connections between people that they might not even know about. And then we start to find out more about the people on the other side of the cameras, the people who abducted us and are watching us. Now, I play an investment guy named Charlie Morse. There's a soldier plucked right off the battlefield. There's a sort of a mysterious man of action type guy There's a single mom. There's a party girl. There's a woman who might have been in a mental institution. We're not too sure. And there's another guy who kind of like a used car salesman. And it's a strange group of people, and we're stuck together. First of all, we need to survive, and then we have to try to figure out what the hell is going on, and can we get out of here, and who to trust, and who's behind all this, you know. And as the show progresses, it starts to play on a larger stage, so to speak. More people become involved. You find out more about the people on the other side of things. There's a lot of action. There's some violence. It's suspenseful.
It feels a little like sort of Lost. Am I wrong?
No, well, see, I apologize. I have never watched Lost, to the Lost fans out there, but I think maybe that served me insofar as I didn't have any preconceptions about the show I was working on. I've also heard people liken it to Saw, which, again, I've never seen. So apparently there are elements of Lost, elements of Saw, and then I would add in the old Patrick McGowan show, The Prisoner, you know, from the 60s. And so there's, but it's, you know, Christopher McQuarrie is an Academy Award winner, and it's really beautifully written. And then a guy named Rami Abushan and his gang of writers took McQuarrie's pilot and then fleshed it out into a full series. And so just when you think you have things figured out, it twists on you, you know, or some new element is introduced that sends you off in a different direction. So it's a thrill ride. It really is. I think it would be a really fun way to spend Monday nights this summer.
I'm
follow
sure you
the
do.
show. Yeah.
Now, does it have? Will it have life beyond these 8 episodes, or is this it? Is it self-contained?
Well, actually, it's 13 episodes. It's just going to be like from now until Labor Day. Yeah, we did 13, and it was originally done as a spec series. What happened was Fox Television decided that they would go to foreign countries and sell the foreign distribution rights to a television show to get the money to make 13 episodes as opposed to just putting out the money to make a pilot. So this show was sold basically all over the world, in South America and in Europe. And then finally last year, NBC bought it for domestic distribution, and almost a year ago, and now they're finally putting it on. So NBC is putting it on as a miniseries event this summer. I think if it catches on, I think all things are negotiable. You know what I mean? I think if people like it, then there's a chance that we could wind up doing some more of these.
Okay.
But as it stands, I'm just so happy. I'm so proud of these 13 episodes, and I'm just so happy that they're finally going to be put on the air.
All right. Well, before we have to let you go, I got to say one of my favorite movies all time. I'm a 50-year-old man saying this, but one of my favorite movies of all time is Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Here's where Cameron goes berserk.
Alan, it was the right movie at the right time for me. Do you remember it as fondly as many of the fans do?
Well, it was a really nice time in my life. I had started out in Chicago, and then I went to New York and did a Broadway play with Matthew Broderick, and then he was offered Ferris Bueller, and then I went in to read for Cameron, and when it came time for callbacks, Matthew and I were already friends. We had worked together for 9 months doing this play, so we didn't have to invent a friendship. We had one. And then I got to go back to Chicago, where I had started, to work on the movie. So everything about it was just kind of a win for me. And it was the best part I've ever had in a feature film, certainly, and a great break. John Hughes took a real chance on me because, I know that other people were offered the role and turned it down. Pretty much every time I see Emilio Estevez, I want to give him a big hug because, I know that he was offered the role and decided not to do it. And, he didn't need it, but I did. And it was a really nice time in my life. Yeah.
Well, last question, and you mentioned Emilio. I actually wanted to ask you about his brother, Charlie, who you worked with on Spin City. Charlie played a bad boy on Spin City. That was the role. He did it again on Big 2.5 Men. What can you tell folks about the real Charlie before we let you go?
I love Charlie, and Charlie's got some problems and he's got some issues and he's working things out. But basically, underneath it all, Charlie is a really sweet-natured, lovable guy. I mean, maybe he's made some bad choices, and I would just hope that people don't judge him too harshly, because at the bottom of it all, he's really he's a good guy. I love him.
Well, I appreciate that. And, folks, you can catch Alan Ruck in the new summer miniseries, Persons Unknown, on Mondays at 10 p.m. for the next 13 weeks. And, of course, you can order DVDs of his classic roles in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Spin City, a couple of Star Trek movies, and more at MrMedia.com. And, Alan, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us at Mr. Media today.
It's been my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Take care, sir.
Bye-bye.
And bye-bye. And, folks, for more original interviews with your favorite TV and film stars, you can surf over to our main website, mrmedia.com. And subscribe to Mr. Media on iTunes, and you'll never miss a show. Just search Mr. Media Interviews from within iTunes and subscribe for free. You can also listen with a piece of string and a tin can in many locations. If you've got an idea for a guest, email me directly at bob@andelman.com. You can also follow me on Facebook or on Twitter, twitter.com/Andelman. Or on Facebook, just search Mr. Media Interviews. Thanks so much for joining us today. Always appreciate you sharing a piece of your day with Mr. Media. Thanks so much for listening.
One night I'm kissing my daughter goodnight, and the next day I'm grabbed in a park, and I end up here.
Where are we?
I don't know. We're all hostages.
Mommy, where are you?
By the end of summer, the answers will be known.
I leave this place to get my daughter back.
In the miniseries event, Persons Unknown, starting Monday, June 7th on NBC.